Hi, I'm Leanne Long, Director of Instructional Technology at the Starkville-Oktibbeha School District, and we're excited today to be here with Jon Turner from 4 County Electric Power. They are our partner in excellence. And from a local community meeting that we had recently, I learned a lot about the internet service that 4 County is implementing across their district. And I knew that it would be a great opportunity for us to share that information with our parents in our school district. So Jon, thank you for being here with us today.
Well, I am really proud that you invited me, and I'm happy to talk about what we're doing, because I think it's going to be hugely impactful to Oktibbeha County and our entire service territory.
I agree. We really want to bridge the gap in our community with internet access, since our students have one-to-one devices now and have those opportunities to do schoolwork at home. And we'll talk more as we go along about how parents can get involved and learn more about this service. So tell us a little bit about how 4 County got involved with the offering internet access to our families.
Absolutely. So I think that, of course, everybody knows, or most people know, a couple of years ago, the state legislature changed the law to allow rural electric co-ops to bring broadband to their service territory. Before that, we were only allowed to be in the electric business. So back in 2019, they changed that law. And so we started really thinking very hard. It was kind of a surprise too. We weren't expecting them to do that. We thought it was going to be a year or two in the future. So they did it in January of 2019. So we started looking real hard at what we were going to do as far as internet. And then in the summer of 2020, the state legislature, when the pandemic hit, the state legislature passed a CARES Act for broadband. So they had made money available in matching grants for utilities or electric co-ops that wanted to do pilot programs in areas that were deemed unserved or underserved. So it was the rural area, the rural of the rural.
Right.
And so we applied, and we won $6 million from the state, and we matched that with more than $7 million of our own. It allowed us to do 3 pilot programs in West Clay, in Northeast Choctaw, and in North Noxubee County. So that's what got us going. And then we got another $35 million from the federal government for our entire rollout. So we are going to be bringing internet in the next 3 years to everybody in our service territory.
We are excited about that. I am a county resident myself, so I am looking forward to the opportunity to have real internet service at our house. So this internet service that y'all are providing is called fiber.
That's right.
Fiber to the home. So tell us, you've got some things out here. Tell us how this fiber works.
Well, a lot of people are used to different ways of getting, their internet. Fiber is right now the best way to get it, because what happens is light travels down these little pieces of glass, and I don't know if you can see that or not, but there are little individual strands on there. So we hang this wire, and our main trunk, which you'll see going down the big roads, is 144 strands of that. Then they branch off. It looks just like the wire from the power company, basically, as far as how it feeds people's houses. But those then are spliced, they're cut, and then they're spliced 32, 64 out to another hub, and then they're spliced from there. And then one of these strands will come into your house. So we were joking the other day about it's hard to splice these things. You got somebody that has to put all of those together. You got fiber there and fiber there, and if it gets cut, that's the worst that can happen to it. It's very robust, but if somebody tries to help us, if it falls down in a storm or whatever, and they try to help us by cutting it out of the way, somebody's got to come back and put all those little strands back together. That's right. So we encourage you to just move it if it's down. You don't have to cut it and get it out of the way. But that's what's going to go to your house. And so what happens is, just like power, you have a service line that comes to your house. Typically that goes to a weatherhead, that metal thing that looks like a gooseneck that sticks up above your roof. Some folks have underground where it comes to your meter, but we'll have one fiber drop that comes to your house, and we'll put one of these on the side of the house.
Okay.
It's a NID, and the fiber comes in on one side, gets connected, and then goes out through a single fiber back into your house, and we'll run that to a modem, right? I think most people are familiar with modem. Modem does. Anybody that has internet service has a modem. This is what the modem looks like. The fiber will actually go inside, so it is fiber all the way to your modem, okay? and then we will have a wireless router here that will pretty much take care of the typical house. And that's the basic setup that you'll get.
Okay, great. Fiber to our house in rural Mississippi is a great opportunity. So this is just, I can't explain to you how excited we are to have this offering to our parents. So tell us, during our meeting, we talked a little bit about different services or the packages that the FASTnet will offer. Tell us a little bit about what our families could expect as far as a monthly service fee.
Sure, so we've got 3 packages that we're offering right now. We've got our Fast 200, Fast 500, and a Fast Gig. 200 is 200 megabits up and down, so all of our services are symmetrical, and that's not the case with a lot of other solutions. And the 200 will take care of your basic needs. If you're doing a little streaming, it'll do high def streaming. It'll do most, if you're not using a whole bunch of devices, that 200 is going to be perfect for you. The 500 seems to be our most popular package right now, and that's 500 megabits up and down, and that handles several devices streaming at one time, gaming, you know, without interruption. There's no lag, there's nothing there. So that's a good, robust package. And of course, the Gig is 1,000 megabytes up and down, and that's, you know, if you're home offices, if you're doing a lot of especially uploading, because that's where you're, you know, you don't usually have a lot of the speed when with asymmetrical stuff. You're doing a home office, that sort of stuff, a Gig is perfect for that. And so the 200 is $55, the 500 is $65, and the Gig is $80. So very reasonable. We've tried to come in at a price point that's, you know, competitive with everybody. Because we are a not-for-profit, we're not doing this to make money. We're doing this, we have to pay for the project. But if we do end up making money on this thing, we're going to put it back in the electric side and keep rates low. So it's a win-win for everybody. But right now, you know, we're doing this, as you said, so that we can bring high-speed, affordable, and reliable internet to people who've never had that opportunity before. Because we know, I'm sure that with COVID and the things that y'all have had to do, your lives went upside down a year ago in the teaching world. And so you guys have been scrambling to find ways to sort of figure out how to do all this in a changed world, and a big part of this is internet connection.
One thing that we talked about in our meeting that I thought would be really important for our parents to know about is a grant that the federal government will soon to offer some of our families that may qualify. Do you know a little bit about that? Can you tell us a little bit about that opportunity?
So what we know right now about it, it is an internet broadband benefit, and it's a lot like the Lifeline program that's currently out there, where folks get a stipend every month to help offset the cost of a landline or a cell phone. But this will be towards internet service, and right now the federal government is making millions of dollars available to help offset the cost of internet for folks who are in certain situations. There's income-based requirements, there's other things that can get you qualified, but it is $50 a month that will pay $50 a month towards your internet service. So basically, if you sign up for a $200 pack or a Fast 200 package, you'd be paying $5 a month with the internet benefit.
Okay, great. Do you know if they have a timeline of when that would start? I know it's not available yet, but they may.
I expect them to have that out anytime now. I did a webinar yesterday where they were talking about they don't have a go date yet, but I expect that to be in the next couple months. And so we're paying attention to that, and we'll start advertising that as soon as that's available for folks. But it's going to be a really good way for folks to get into the internet and be able to do those things, because clearly, as we've seen over the last year, life is now very internet heavy based. You know, we're all doing things that we weren't thinking we were going to be doing before with the internet, and so it's very important that folks have affordable solutions and reliable solutions, so that if they are being homeschooled or they have to do some homework, then they're able to do it now.
Right. Great. As far as construction-wise, you talked about y'all started with these pilot projects.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit about how you're branching out from the pilot and where at least the Tibbahall families can think about when that might be coming down their road.
Sure.
Especially mine.
So we started, as I said before, in those 3 areas in western Clay County, in northeast Choctaw, and in North Noxubee. So once we get finished with our grant requirements there, we're going to go ahead and build out those areas. And so that will be kind of the remainder of this year. And then once we finish with that, we're going to build a ring around the system, because part of what we're doing this for, not just to bring internet to the membership, but we're actually using it to communicate with our substations all across the service territory so that we can do some things on the electric side that will benefit our members. We'll be able to do a lot of outage management, we'll be able to do a lot of voltage control, we'll be able to do a lot of things remotely and electronically and digitally that in the past would require somebody to have to go out and do that. So this is going to benefit all of us. So what we have to do is build a ring around our system for redundancy communication purposes, but it's also good for our internet folks because they'll also have redundancy. So if we get fed from our internet, we have to connect to the outside world just like this. So picture this at a much larger level where we plug into a modem from somebody else in Atlanta that gets us our internet here that we then, disperse to everybody else. You don't just want one place to plug in, because if that goes down, then everybody's down. So we need 3 or 4 or more insertion points, and having that ring around there means that we can feed different places different ways, right? If this plug is down, this plug over here is working, and we can still ring it around and get everybody internet. So when Leanne is at home working on her computer, she's not going to be out. So that's what we want at the end of the day. So Octoc will be next. We're going to build out from Octoc, and then we're going towards Lowndes County, what we call our Golden Triangle area, Mayhew. Then we're going to loop around Lowndes, come up through Clay, and then back around. So Octoc and the 8 to 10 areas, including Longview, will be in these first few phases. So we expect to have all of that done by early next year. And then Sturgis, so Southwest Octavia is going to be towards the end of that, and I'll have to look at the date there because I can't remember. So Sturgis is looking maybe fall of 2023.
Okay.
So all of Octavia County won't be done in these first ones, but the majority of it will be done, or the denser parts will be done by the beginning of next year.
Okay.
And I know that's a little frustrating, but when you think about it, we're going to be building out 5,000 miles of line of fiber in less than 3 years. So I know that if you're at the end of that, it seems like a long time, but in construction and starting a completely new business, that's lightning fast. So we just ask folks to have patience with us because it is coming.
Well, we really, again, for our families in our district, this is just great news that we can really bridge the gap of those that have internet access and those that don't, and that it's affordable and available to our families in our district. So again, we thank you for being here with us, being a partner in excellence in our district, and just appreciate your candid responses and just information for our families.
Well, we appreciate that, and you guys do such a good job. Starkville Schools is one of those that in the state, people look at and say, we want to be like that. And so anything we can do to help not just the Starkville schools, but all schools, we know how important education is and making this place better. And what we hope at the end of the day is that now people will be able to move to some of these places and live in some of these places that they really couldn't before with a family because they just didn't have those opportunities. We hope this will give them the opportunity that they need, and we'll all be better off in the long run.